let us go to the brand spanking new Skype machine and say hello to our first guest of the day, the head coach for one TJ Dillashaw, the great Duane Bang Ludwig. Duane, how are you?
Doing good, sir. Doing good. How you doing?
It's great to have you on the show. You look great. What a great Skype connection you have over there. I really appreciate that. The beginning of a big week for you, so thank you very much for taking some time out of your schedule. I think the first question has to be this, because it's the question that I think everyone keeps talking about, asking me about. Every time it seems like TJ posts something on social media, I get people sending it to me like, look how he looks. Does he look healthy? Is he going to make weight? Everyone's worried. Everyone's concerned that this fight won't come to fruition. Could you tell us, how is he looking? How is he feeling as he makes the cut down to 125?
He's looking very sharp. His strength and conditioning coach, Sam Calavita, has him on track to make weight. He's strong. He's fast. The only differences that I've noticed in this camp is that he's getting faster. He seems just as strong. All the technique, the timing, the accuracy, that's all there. He's mentally sharp. He's focused. He's always focused. But I did have some concern if he would be a little bit weaker or not, and he is not. He is just faster. So with the dropping the weight, he's actually a lot better. Just in speed-wise. The skill set, we always improve in gamer knowledge and so on, but there's no hiccups in this camp.
Could you tell us on this Monday morning over there how much he weighs?
I don't know right now. I'm in Colorado. He's in California. I'll see him later tonight, but he's been waking up to mid-30s. So
okay,
he's good.
And that's what you guys were hoping for?
Yes, sir. It's on track. Sam Calavita, the strength conditioning coach.
Yep.
That's what he's on track.
Okay. Any surprises along the way? Any roadblocks? Did it take, was it hard early on to get over a certain hump as you started to make the way down to 125? Anything surprise you that you didn't expect?
Nothing, no surprises. TJ is a professional at his job in every aspect. There's no complaints. He does what he needs to do, and again, he feels strong and he's fast. So his strength conditioning with his coach is on point.
Obviously, this is the most crucial week. This is where the serious cutting happens. Do you have any concerns coming up this week? Are you a nervous Nelly? Are you anxious about this? How are you feeling heading into the week?
I feel fine. I think according to his performances leading up to this point, he's been really sharp. So I don't have any concerns really. There's no concerns out of the normal.
Okay. Is this something that as you've gone through the camp for the most part now, it's about to end, obviously, is this something that you feel would be good for him to be a part of, in the future? Do you want him to be a flyweight more so than a bantamweight? Do you feel like he's actually better as a flyweight, or do you like this as just a one-off?
We'll see his performance on the actual night, but I like it as to be a one-off. I wouldn't mind him sticking around at 35, and we'll see where the future holds for other possibilities. But for now, a one-off. We've put a lot of time and focus into him cutting weight and making the weight. It hasn't been too big of a deal, but we have spent more time in that area than previously, obviously because we're dropping the weight class. But it reminds me a little bit of when I was fighting, always focusing on the weight cut and how much did I weigh, how much I weighed before class, after class. I would just like to have more focus on our skill development rather than the weight cut. But again, it hasn't been too big of a concern.
Obviously, your main concern is the fight itself, game planning, go out there and win. You don't necessarily have to care about all the extracurricular stuff. But he did say very early on in this process that he is being sent down to kill the flyweight division. Is that your understanding? Is Saturday night's title fight the final flyweight title fight based on what you know?
From what I understand, yes, they're supposed to be canceling the 125-pound division. I mean, I just heard interviews and internet stuff, right? I didn't talk to Dana or anybody at the UFC. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I just focus on what I can control, and that's getting my guys better as martial artists. And the bell sounds, we shall perform. So
how do you feel about that? Do you think they should get rid of it?
Well, I'm not quite sure of the ratings on the TV show or on those fights, or what the concern is. If it doesn't have enough traffic, then I guess pull it. But I don't know their market research for the 125-pound division to say yes or no. But I'd like for it to stick around. It's always been exciting, but we'll see what the future holds.
Let's just stay on the weight thing here for a second. I saw an interview recently. Did you say that at some point you'd like to see him go up to 145 to fight if it is Max Holloway, who's still the champion? That is something that you're interested in? You think that that's something that he could be he could be good at, that he could actually pull off, get the third belt?
TJ can pull that off to go up to 145 pounds and get that title as well. I do believe that can happen.
Wow. Is there, I remember when Roy Jones went up, when he went too far up to heavyweight and then he went down, he said that all that movement, all that, changing of weight really screwed him up. Do you have a concern with that?
It would be a new field, a new venture.
Yeah.
I'm always up for challenges. So is TJ.
Right.
So have a triple champ would be nice.
Yes. Now, this is not something you...
Right? See what we're capable of. It doesn't make sense to stay in a rut. I mean, we're not in a rut, and there's still credible opponents at 135.
Right.
But to cement the legacy and see what our true potential is as a human being and a martial artist, why not test ourselves also at 145? But not to get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Make sure we're focusing on the task at hand with Henry Cejudo, who is not an easy fight for anybody. So I want to make sure we're focusing on that now, which we are. And after this fight, we'll talk about 145 or other possibilities.
Is that something that you would like to see him try this year?
Yes.
Wow. But I'm assuming you want to see him go back to 135. If all goes well on Saturday, get back to 135, and then maybe after that, try out 145?
A fight at 135 is not bad. Who would you like to see him fight at 135?
I think
Ariel.
Please, bring it.
Show.
Bring it. No problem. I think there's a fight coming up, and timing-wise it works. I think there's a fight coming up between Marlon Moraes and Rafael Sunsao that I feel like a lot of people, including myself, even though it hasn't been said, would consider a number one contender fight. So I feel like the winner of that deserves a shot at the belt next.
Right? Moraes and Rafael Sunsao?
They did. Yep. They did.
Yeah, so that's not really – it'll be an exciting fight, hopefully. But it doesn't really stir the pot for me personally. But it's not about me. But, I don't really see that as a big payday fight or an exciting fight. Any fight with TJ is an exciting fight, but a fight against with Sunsao again or Moraes would be a good challenge. And not to overlook Sunsao, but either of those fights don't really excite me, I guess.
Right. There is an obligation, though, as champion that,
Yeah, but TJ's he's not just a regular champion. Like, he's something special.
Yeah.
Like, he got to 25 and get that title and go up to 35. That's what I feel our journey should consist of, not staying at 35. And I don't want to discredit Sunsao or Moraes, but I just feel there's a little bit of a gap, and TJ is better suited at testing his skills in other departments.
Okay. And, of course, the Dominic Cruz issue, if you will.
I would like to have that fight, personally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although it seems like he's going to be out for quite a while, so not really something.
Poor guy. Hopefully he's doing good. That sucks, man. The thing, you make your money fighting, and he's on camera now, so hopefully he's doing good. But whatever beef, anyway, I don't want to see the guy hurt and want to make sure he's living a good life. But I would like to see that fight happen again.
Okay, now going to the actual fight itself. My colleague Chael, I thought, broke it down in a very interesting light. He said that he thinks that Henry Cejudo is the best amateur wrestler in MMA. However, he thinks that TJ Dillashaw has the best MMA wrestling in the sport. And I think some people might not understand the distinction, but I think that there is a very clear distinction between the two. Do you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, I mean, there's just different builds and rule sets, right? I mean, you box differently in a boxing match than you do in a kickboxing match versus a mixed martial art match. And the same thing goes for wrestling. I mean, there's Greco, there's freestyle, there's different forms of wrestling for that same fact. So wrestling in the Olympics under Greco or freestyle, wrestling in mixed martial arts is different. And TJ has had a lot more experience in that department. He's the best at expressing Bruce Lee's philosophies of flowing like water and tying the techniques together, hence mixed martial arts. He blends his striking and his wrestling together the best, in my opinion.
I feel like you should be made aware of this stipulation. They were on my show 2 weeks ago at the same time, and Henry threw out that if TJ takes him down once, the fight's over. He will tap out just from the takedown. No submission needed. Are you aware of this? And do you believe that this is a thing? If you guys score a takedown in the first minute, you won. You get the belt. He said it. It's on the record. It's on TV.
Yeah, but Henry doesn't run the show, right? I don't think that's fair to the fans. I think they want to see Henry get punched in the face a couple times. So we'll see how this goes first.
Is that something, though, you're going to try to look to do? Put the wrestler down?
Out wrestle him. He's going to out wrestle him more than once. We can take Cejudo down. That can happen. Will we be able to hold him down? We'll see. I see this TJ taking him down a couple times. He's going to take him down. That's going to happen.
What about Henry's improved striking? That's your background, right? You know that. What do you make of it?
I think he's doing really good since his. I've been watching his career, and as went on, he'd be really good at. He was training in California. Now he's back down in Arizona. He seems to be making strides. I mean, he is. I mean, he's a world-class athlete. He has no choice but to get better. His work ethic is for sure. I'm second to none. That's just what happens when you have a dedicated, world-class, coordinated, hardworking athletes. You give them the basics in any athletic endeavor, and they'll excel. That's just how it is with TJ. That's just how it is with anybody, any top 10 athlete. So I am impressed with his striking. He is not to be taken lightly at all. He is strong, takes a good shot. His game, obviously, a solid wrestling, really good control. His fight with Demetrius, I don't think he actually won that fight. It was a pretty boring fight. He just took him down and held him. He didn't win, like, if it was an actual fight, he didn't win the fight. He just took him down and held him. Like, that's not fighting to me. That's loving somebody a little too much.
Wow, that's interesting. You thought it was a boring fight. I found it to be a fascinating fight.
I did not. It was just Henry was just pushing the pace and getting a hold of him and trying to hold him down. It wasn't an action-packed fight in my eyes.
And did you score it for him at least?
I did not score for him.
Wow.
I scored it for Demetrius. Rounds to 2.
Okay. So this is going to be a walk in the park for you guys.
Well, it's not going to be a walk in the park. We got to respect him for sure. Respect ourselves. But the fight that I would like to see, I wish it was TJ and Demetrius. Right. That fight needs to happen. If TJ was to stick around at 25, I'd like to see Demetrius come back from 1FC or go fight at 1FC, make some kind of super fight like that happen between TJ and Demetrius. For the fans, for mixed martial arts, for the evolutionary period of martial arts in a whole, that fight needs to happen. So I really like to make that happen.
So despite what happened in August, you still consider Demetrius to be the best 125er?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. How
about you?
I scored it. It was a very close fight. I don't remember the breakdown now in terms of rounds, but I did score it in favor of Henry, ever so slightly. And honestly, it was one of my fights of the year. I thought it was fascinating theater, like to see it went down essentially to the final minute, if my memory serves me correct, and to see him take down DJ, who I think has very good wrestling, good takedown defense. No,
I don't credit takedowns as winning a fight. It's like just playing the rules. It's kind of I just don't. As a martial artist, and you're fighting. Like, I'm not taking down and holding you. That's like you're subduing a subject and waiting for the cops to come. You're just holding him until someone comes to save you. It's kind of a weak way to win. But it's wrestling is the rules. I get it, but don't really like it.
Considering TJ's last few fights, his last few opponents, where would you rank what Henry brings to the table? Where would you put him among the Codys of the world, the Dominics of the world, the John Linekers of the world, in terms of what he brings to the table, the puzzle that Henry Cejudo is?
He's solid. I give TJ an A+. If you give him, as far as ranking them, he'd be an A+. Cejudo's an A-. He's up there. He's solid. Demetrius is an A+ as well. I'd give Cody an A- also. There's just gaps in there. But when Cody fought Dominic Cruz, Cody was performing. He had an on night, an A+ night.
Yeah.
We can perform great some nights and not so great other nights. And that night, Cruz performed on a B+ level. It wasn't his night, and it was Cody's night. So I would like to see that fight again, Cody and Dominic Cruz. But I also like to see TJ fight Demetrius and TJ fight Cruz one more time as well.
Yeah. Okay. We are getting TJ versus Henry Cejudo. I think one of the obviously big questions going into this fight is how he looks on the scale, but then how he performs. Are we seeing is it possible we see a different TJ Dillashaw on Saturday, or do you think come Saturday, once he rehydrates, it's the same guy that fights at 135?
Well, he's never the same guy. He's always improving.
Fair.
A faster, more improved version of TJ Dillashaw. And in my opinion, again, speaking evolutionary-wise, with the amount of information that we have now, TJ is the best mixed martial artist to step foot in the cage.
Okay.
He has the most well-rounded skill set in all departments.
He's pound for pound number one.
In my eyes, for sure.
Yeah. And this must be,
Might be biased, but
no, hey, you should
that's
say
my
that.
nature.
That's your guy. You should say that. More people should say that. But I would imagine for you personally, going into not a lot of drama. This must be nice, right? There's no soap opera stuff, no real. I mean, there's a little bit of back and forth between them, but you're not really involved, right? Isn't this good?
So this is good. And this is always what we focused on anyway, what we could control and getting better inside the dojo and improving and getting better. And, you know, it's a commitment to constant, never-ending improvement toward black belt excellence. That's what we're doing, and that's what people should do. So just mind your business, stick your head in the sand, and focus on what you can control. And that's what we did. And look at the results. Look where TJ's at.
And what did you do throughout the camp? Did you go to California? Did he come to you? Did you split time?
He's in California. I've been splitting time, going out there 3 days a week. I actually leave after this, flying back out there for a day, and then we go to New York. But I've been splitting time between Colorado and California.
How's that go? Do you like that?
I love it. We have a really good training schedule that has proved to be successful for his retention of the information. As far as with the idea of how to get somebody better, we've been focused on a really good schedule that just seems to be clicking with him. He's always gets better anyway. We're having these 3 intense days, and then him using the other 3 days for strength and conditioning, his jiu-jitsu and wrestling. It seems to have worked out better this way rather than doing kickboxing one day, jiu-jitsu and the wrestling, and the kickboxing again, jiu-jitsu and wrestling. 3 days dedicated on striking. Well, it's not just striking. It's striking for mixed martial arts, just like we do wrestling for mixed martial arts. But we do a solid pad session. We do a sparring session. We go back on the pads and another class. So that schedule has proven to be really, really good, I guess I should say, for us.
What's the official Bang Ludwig prediction? How does it end?
TJ can stop him in the second round. TJ can stop him anywhere. But I don't want to overlook Cejudo, and I don't want to pursue the knockout. We just need to flow and adapt like water, like Bruce Lee says, right? So
Right.
That's what TJ does. He's Bruce Lee's philosophies come to life when TJ fights. And that's but TJ has the possibility to end Cejudo in any round. But I want to shut the brain off and flow and let him have fun and enjoy the energy of the crowd and go out there and perform and show off.